7 months after the Eaton fire that left so much devastation for that community. And the after effects, the aftershocks are felt all over our whole family. I say that because we are a family. So whether you were directly affected by that fire or not, you know someone or you can be a blessing to someone. And KJLH has been really on top of trying to get as much information out as far as resources and organizations that are helping, and then allowing those that were directly affected share their stories and get it out. Because sometimes you just got to get it out. You just got to talk about it. And my dear friend is joining me today, Alani Ford. Good morning.
Good morning, Adai. Thank you for having me.
Let me tell you, you always have a smile on your face. She is one of the top entertainment executives in Los Angeles, but she is a survivor of the Eaton fire. And I only really knew that in maybe the last few days.
Yes.
Because you have been carrying on like a soldier.
Oh, thank you. I'm staying strong for those.
I'm going to tell you, every time I see you, you're always doing something fabulous. You're always, helping others. And when you like commented on one of our posts on our social media, and I sent you a text message, were you affected? You told me you did lose. Yes. You did lose. Share a little bit.
Well, we lost our family house. We lost all of those memories. We had a family house of 50 years.
Wow.
That's where you throw all the barbecues, the repast. My cousin had her baby in the house.
Wow.
And we had 4 generations living in that house at the time.
Wow.
And if it wasn't for the fire department, they knocked on the door at 3 a.m. and said, hey, you guys got to get out of here. You got to get out of here. And understand, living in from Altadena, we've gone through so many fires, because we are up there in the mountains. So this is, what fire makes it different from the other fires.
Right.
So we've evacuated a time or two, but we've no fire has ever touched the house.
Yeah.
So in the 50 years of having the house, this was the year, unfortunately, that the fire department knocked on the door and my family went and looked in the backyard and the fire was in the backyard.
Whoa.
They saved them by seconds.
Wow.
And and understand, when the fire is in the backyard, you have no time to gather anything at all. You're just saving your life at this point. So all the memorabilia in the house, it was a really big house. So that was almost like the storage for the family, the free storage. So my dad's, memorabilia, all of the family memorabilia, it's all gone, unfortunately.
All the heirlooms, all the different things. And what was so unique about your story, when you say the family home, because everyone had homes. That wasn't the only home you had there.
Exactly.
That was just like the family, the gathering spot. The gathering.
The big house, as we called it.
Yes, in the country.
Yeah.
Who going to the big house?
Yeah. Big Mama's house.
Yeah. And you lost that. Mm-hmm. And we've been talking so much about in the scrambling of trying to rebuild and trying to understand that. People are mourning that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're not going back home, and we have not digested that. People are living in hotels. People are shacking up with friends. We're having a hard time getting a hold of insurance, and thank you for hosting this show, by the way. Thank you. I just happened to be scrolling on social media and I saw what you were doing, and that's why I commented, because it's like, that's home for me. That's my hometown. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Absolutely. KJLH has been, I remember that day in January, and Stevie had called in and said, hey, get everybody prepared.
Wow.
Because this is something that's happening and we really need to start getting information out as quickly as possible. Our program director, Chris Malone, was on it. All the air staff, we were all just covering.
Absolutely.
And we really did not want people to think that, because this is what happens. And, even the residents were like, everybody's all over it. And then afterwards, it's like they're dealing.
They're dealing. And what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel that Pasadena has been forgotten about. And so thank you for not forgetting about us.
Well, I tell you what, we've got some wonderful partners that have really stepped in. FEMA, SBA, Neighborhood Housing, Los Angeles Urban League, Brotherhood Crusade.
Beautiful.
All of these wonderful people jumping together to make sure. We've got the NAACP of Pasadena, the president there. They're all just sharing information. I spoke briefly with the NAACP. I'm trying to get in touch with her with Altadena. Just different people that have just got resources. But when we talk so much about, when you say these homes, that's a lot of generational wealth that we talk about.
Yes.
But there's also the element of the mental we were talking about. And you do something amazing for the kids, because the kids are seeing the grown people work.
Yes.
But they're dealing with their own stuff too.
Absolutely. My cousins that lived in the house and understand, they are 3, 4, and 5. So they're at these delicate ages, and they just want to play with toys. And so their toys got literally burned down and things like that. So they still ask questions of, when can we go back to the house and get our toys? When are we going back to the house? Understand that they're living in hotels, but the hotels don't have the capacity. So they're switching from hotel after hotel, week after week. And so
that does a lot to a kid, having to switch up.
Absolutely.
Psychologists say kids take in more. You are developed between the ages of born and 7 years old.
Wow.
Those are those crucial years that really shape who you are. And Dee Dee Hirsch has been awesome with offering free counseling to
needed.
Everybody that's been dealing with the wildfires. You go to crisiscare.org/wildfire, and you can get that information. It's absolutely free. But you're doing something, your love for yachts. You do something with the kids. I'm telling you, I love that you do what you do, but you're getting the kids out there a little bit too, to get their minds off of everything.
Okay, so I am a boater, a black boater at that, and I've been boating for 3 years, and I have become absolutely obsessed. And what my thing is that the water is so therapeutic. It is, and I call it my free therapy. It's like my free therapist. And last week, we threw a boating day, basically. I'm sorry, a water day at the California Yacht Club for Crown Me Summer Camp. Aww. And they're out of Altadena. So understand, some of these kids lost their homes too. Yeah. But we brought them to the California Yacht Club. They came on their school bus. So this was literally a day trip, an all day scenario. And these are kids from kindergarten to 4th grade. And we took them out on the water. We gave them rowing classes. Aww. And I showed them how to tie knots. And we got on boats, and they got to see seals. And some of them were asking, well, let me jump in the water with the seals.
No, baby. No, let's not do that.
Don't do that. But it was so beautiful, to get these kids out on the water, and it was 40 of them, and I got to just teach them everything I knew about the water, and it was just beautiful.
The water is calming in itself, right?
Absolutely.
Stick around with me. We've got Alani Ford, survivor of the Eaton fire, who is still thriving, and through all of everything, she's still helping our youth. We're going to talk to her more. It's Adai Lamar here with the Altadena 7 series on Radio Free 102.3 KJLH. Thank you, Steve. We're back. Altadena 7 continues 7 months after the Eaton fires, hearing the stories of the families that went through this devastating time, and looking at the devastation that's left. Alani Ford, entertainment executive. I'm telling you, I see her all over Instagram, still being able to live her life and putting that kind of not behind you, but still able to serve.
Trying to cope with it.
Yeah. Still serving. Tell me a little bit more about what you do with these kids. I love that you're getting them out on the water, so calming out there, but they're facing a lot too.
That is my way of giving back, honestly. I'm doing something that I'm passionate about, and if I could melt some of their stress away, that's what I'm doing. So, like I said, last week I took the Crown Me Summer Camp under my wing and showed them everything I knew about sailing. And then next weekend on August 23rd, at Nails Yachts over here in Marina Del Rey, I am taking the Jack and Jill of Los Angeles, their chapter. I'm taking them out on the water, and I'm going to take them out for a boating, and I'm going to put them to work. I'm going to put them to crew.
That nothing helps you better forget your problems when you got to work.
Exactly. So I'm taking 10 young kids out, and I can't wait to do that. So if I can relieve their stress, if I could teach them something, and honestly, I started boating 3 years ago, but if I was introduced to it at 7 years old.
Wow.
So that is my goal too. Sometimes we don't know it until we see it, right?
Exposure.
So if I could expose them to boating at 7, at 5, at 8 years old.
Let me tell you, I love your spirit and what's in your heart, because you're serving, but your family you're from a family of servants.
Absolutely.
The Rosebud School. You guys founded that school. I saw so many of those young people really devastated. Their school gone. That's what your family helped found that school.
Absolutely. Pasadena Rosebuds Academy, founded in 2007. We're at 18 years in existence. We have almost a 200 student body. And this school goes from TK to 8th grade. So that's a lot of coverage of the community. And we are one of the top charter schools in California. And unfortunately, we burned down in January. And now the kids are at Don Benito School in bungalows. So we're just trying to figure it out. And even at the beginning of this, when the fire happened, the staff, we had to gear up and really we were just doing school out of a church, as far as at least, just coming together and making phone calls to parents and letting them know what the next steps would be, because we were in the middle of the school year.
When kids, kids internalize a lot. They're resilient. Don't get me wrong, they're resilient, but sometimes it can be just right under the surface.
Absolutely.
And so when you lose your school, you lose your home, you lose friends are displaced, everybody's everywhere. People like you, and again, I have to keep shouting out Dee Dee Hirsch with the free counseling, crisiscare.org.
Beautiful.
Please reach out to them and let them assist, even with the young people.
Yes.
And you have to tell us, how can we get in touch with you? How can we get our young people involved? Because you do more than with the kids. I mean, the first time I ever had a sound bath on a yacht, she said yacht, I was in. And then sound bath, I was like, ooh, that's even better. Tell us, how can we get in touch with you to not only find out about our kids, but all the things that you do?
Absolutely. So, to Altadena and Pasadena, to my families out there, I want to let you guys know to keep hope, to keep faith alive. There are lots of resources, and Adai is one of them that are spreading all of these resources. So don't think that there's not help out there. There's a lot of help, and we're gonna get you help. And there is a new day. Every storm runs out of rain. I am on Facebook. My name is Alani Ford, ALONI Ford, FORD. I'm on Instagram. I'm on all social media, and I'm doing a thing called Yacht Yoga, and that's that's for the women. I'm bringing the women together, on the boats, and we're doing sound baths, and I'm doing that with Shefa Yoga and Nails Yachts and California Yacht Club. And I just want to, if you want to go boating, hit me up. If you want a good time, or really just, I'm just a great person to connect with, and I just want to spread the love and positivity. That's what life's about.
Well, that's what we need. That's what we definitely need. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Definitely, and I'm excited because I was able to connect her with these wonderful people that are coming in now.
Amen.
Please, I've got Mr. Corey Williams. He's going to come in with the SBA. We got Brady Penn with FEMA. Been excellent with us. We're going to take a quick break here, Bo. Can you give us a good little song so we can transition some things? Bo's got always the best music. It's Radio Free, 102.3 KJLH.
Hey, Dave, what's going on in your world this morning?
Well, I tell you what, we continue our Altadena Series 7. Altadena 7 months after the Eaton fire. What's going on there? How are the residents? We're still getting information and resources out, much needed. It's a process, family. It's going to take years before we get to some form of together, recovery. And everyone plays a part. And if you're listening to this and you don't think that you're a part of it, you are wrong. Anytime part of our family hurts, we all hurt. We've got not just families and residents, but businesses. And this is, people's lifelines, And organizations have really stepped up. And those people that work with those organizations have made sure that we've gotten as much information as possible so we could benefit for the resources that are out there, the funding, the programs. And Corey Williams with SBA, Small Business Administration, been with us from the beginning. Welcome, Corey. Thank you.
Thank you, Adai, and it's always an honor to see you and be on the show.
Okay, let me see here. Where is our Bo? We're going to get your microphone turned on here. There you go. Right there. There we go. There we go. Thank you, Corey, for being here.
Glad to be here. It's an honor.
Yes, and then, of course, with the FEMA, Now, FEMA's been with us from the beginning, but we grabbed somebody new to our family.
Yeah,
we're bringing
Mike
in.
before. Yeah.
We had Mike before, but I tell you what, we're going to always get someone in. Brady, thank you for coming in. Welcome to our family. This is Mr. Brady Penn. Welcome to the family.
Well, thank you for having me. And yes, we all miss Mike Hart, who was with us for quite a while.
Yes.
When he was with you before, I was stuck in the office, but now I'm able to
They let you out a little bit here now.
I'm very happy to be here, and we're happy to keep coming back.
Thank you.
As long as you want us to have us on.
Absolutely. You guys were sharing with us the deadlines and really nailing home with us that if you may not even thought you were going to need some of the funds or that you could apply or would be eligible for certain things, but to go ahead and apply and register. Did we get in there and do we do that? What are we looking like?
I would say from an SBA perspective, I think we've done pretty well. We crossed over the $3 billion in approvals. So I think we're doing extremely well. But the thing is, there's still money out there. We want to make sure we're still giving that assistance to the businesses and nonprofits. And we've kind of turned our focus to what's called the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, which provides working capital for the business and nonprofits. So for any of I know tomorrow we got the Black Business
Yes, you're going to be a part of that.
Yeah, I'm going to be a part of that. With shout out also to Kenneth Crawford. He's also with the SBA LA District Office. But we're really excited about partnering with some of the Black businesses and to be able to know that even for some of the businesses to be able to get an unsecured $50,000. Keep in mind, unsecured $50,000.
That means you don't have to show any documents.
No collateral whatsoever. That could be the difference in that business sustaining itself during this recovery period. So I really want to make sure that in everything I'm messaging, we want to make sure that the business and nonprofits know that there is assistance out there. And we're still working with the homeowners and renters, of course. And, and we're looking with mitigation because that also allows for increased funds beyond our limits on the real estate repair recovery as well.
One of the things I was most impressed about SBA is that you guys are really trying to get the message out that, look, you have a business or a home or in that area and you don't foresee certain things. Still apply because your company or business may not see the impact right now, but maybe a year from now or 2 or 3 years from now when the population may not be the same or support your business the same. This is when the opportunity for you to apply.
And that's exactly it today. I mean, so many of these businesses, the one thing I always want to emphasize is that economic injury began the day of the fires. Although we have 9 months to apply, which is October 8, 2025, so many businesses and nonprofits will wait until August or September or even the very last minute, but they've seen drop in sales.
Yeah.
They've seen layoffs of employees. They can't meet some of their basic obligations, or even for some of the landlords out there.
Yeah.
They may have had tenants that now are displaced. Well, that's lost rents. So that is all economic injury. And that's why we want to make sure that at least the business owners start with that unsecured $50,000 because they can always request increases within 2 years from the date of the approval.
Wow.
So that's key. And then for the nonprofits, nonprofits, they plan events months, if not years in advance.
Yeah.
So when those events are canceled, postponed, or suspended, well, that's revenue that at that time that's lost. So we want to make sure that you have those funds, and if the first $50,000 is enough to kind of keep the business sustained, great. You have an unsecured loan, but if you need more funds down the road, we're there for you as well.
And when you talk about that area, people think it's just there in Altadena, but this is all of LA County. People are open to this, whether you were right next to the fire or you were miles and miles away. This is all of LA County.
And that's correct. It's not only LA County, it's Kern, Orange, San Bernardino, and Ventura counties.
Okay.
So, I mean, the money's out there. And, the thing is, people say, well, why is Kern on the list? Well, Kern is what we call an adjacent or contiguous county. So there may be a Kern business owner that may be have a contract with Altadena.
Oh, yeah.
And then they've received an adverse impact because now that, that Altadena business owner or nonprofit is not able to do business with them, well, that created an economic injury immediately for that current business owner. So you just never know. And that's why we want to make sure that the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, we just continue to make sure that everybody knows that, if you're in Kern, Orange, San Bernardino, Ventura, and most importantly, LA County, you're eligible.
Now, is there can they apply if they have yet to apply?
Yes. So the deadline to apply for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan is October 8th, 2025. Again, that's October 8th, 2025. So we want to make sure that people know that. But again, don't wait. Just go ahead and put in the application now. Go ahead and start that process. I've seen it too many times. I've been with the agency 19 years. I love what I do. And people will wait to the very last minute and they're like, oh, well, I've had drops in sales for the last 4 or 5 months. I had to lay off employees because the books are tight. Those are all signs of economic injury, and that's why it's so important to just start the process now instead of the last minute. October
8th, you want to get your name in the hat. So they know that you just like raising your hand, like, I might need that. October 8th. Corey, we're going to have you back so you can keep reminding everybody.
I definitely
about this,
will.
right?
I love being on the show with you.
I love it. All right. Mr. Brady Penn with FEMA. Thank you so much. You guys have really stepped up for especially when everything was going on and needed money in the hand right away. What are some of the updates with FEMA that we have?
Yeah, I appreciate it. And thank you again for having me on.
Absolutely.
And like I said, we look forward to coming back on. You mentioned it right at the top. This is just one step in a very long process of recovery, and so we were here, day one, helping people out with urgent needs, money in people's pockets right away, just for evacuation costs, for example. And what I'd like to just remind everyone of today is that we're still here. FEMA's still here. We're going to be here for months and months to come. Just yesterday, I was out in Altadena with the Army Corps of Engineers. FEMA helped coordinate that debris clearance mission out there, and we were at the final home that they're starting in Altadena for that program. It was actually a really cool experience. It was the home of John Outerbridge, a really prominent artist in the community, and the family had asked for extra time before the Army Corps came in to clear the lot to sift through all of the...
See if there was anything that could be salvaged.
Yeah, and they're going to be doing, some exhibitions with that art that they were able to salvage, and it's a really incredible moment to share with the community. It's been such an incredible experience, getting to know the Altadena community throughout this process. But like I said, FEMA's still here. Folks who registered can still reach out to FEMA, and kind of similar to what Corey mentioned for SBA, FEMA, a lot of people register, they think, okay, I got, some assistance up front. But you can still come back to FEMA. Once you've registered, you can keep calling, the 1-800 number. That's 1-800-621-3362. And following up, updating your situation. We have a lot of people in this case where, they had insurance money that may have covered some of their costs, but now they may have gotten rental assistance, for example, to find a different place to stay. If you're registered with FEMA and your rental assistance through your insurance runs out, you can still call us back and become eligible potentially to get a grant from FEMA. And that's not a loan. That's just a grant. That's your money.
You don't have to pay it back.
And yeah, exactly. And you can go spend that on your rent, wherever you want, wherever you're able to, find a place to stay while you rebuild. And so, like you mentioned, it's a multi-year process really to rebuild the community, but it's incredible to see, just after 6 months, I've never seen anything like it, just how this community's come
resilient,
together.
Resilient.
And, the guests that you've had on your show, it's, you just hear from people again and again, how people are coming together. And it's really phenomenal to see.
What's amazing is the grassroots organizations that have actually been there, that are doing the work. And then when you guys come in and bring in funding where you can kind of meet with them and kind of help distribute it, it's a team effort. And I tell everybody will be needed in all of this, So don't refuse help from this one or that one. You, in this process, to get us back to whole, everybody, every dollar, every person, whatever door you can knock on, whatever email you can send, all resources have to be available. Everybody has to be a part of it.
And on that, actually, there's the Eaton Fire Collaborative. I want to give them a shout out because I know we've got FEMA. We have so many different programs.
Yeah,
and it's hard to keep track of them all.
Yeah.
And one thing we do that I really love, especially at this stage in the recovery process, is we have voluntary agency liaisons out there in the community working to kind of community organize, nonprofits and different groups in the community, whether it's Habitat for Humanity or whoever it might be, or even SBA is part of those groups as well. The Eaton Fire Collaborative and the long-term recovery group for Altadena is, they're going to be here for the very long term and helping people, kind of make sure nobody falls through the cracks in terms of what they need.
That's what we need to hear. That's what we need to hear. Family, when we come back, we're going to give your information on how we can get in touch with you guys and how we can stay in touch with FEMA and SBA and keep those updates. But we're also going to meet another Altadena resident who actually is a business owner in Gardena and sharing sandwiches with KJLH today. That's right. We got Yo Way, David Cathcart, joining us, sharing his story with growing up there in Altadena and still a businessman doing his thing. It's Altadena 7 right here with Adai Lamar at Radio Free 102.3 KJLH. Thank you so much, Tommy. Altadena 7, the series continues with the Steve Harvey Morning Show in the 9 a.m. hour. We've had with us Corey Williams, that is, from the Small Business Administration, David Penn with FEMA. They've been giving us some great information, but how do we get in touch with you guys if we want to continue this conversation, how we can do it?
SBA has a presence still physically at the Altadena Community Center. That's 730 East Altadena Drive. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you're going to still continue to see blue shirts today for a long time to come.
Well, we're happy about that.
Yes. And then for those business owners or nonprofits, we know time is of the essence. They may not be able to kind of break away. So they can apply online by going to lending.sba.gov. Again, that's lending.sba.gov, or they can also call our 800 number, 800-659-2955.
All right, we love it. Okay, we need to get those updates to FEMA. How do we get in touch, and how do we I guess we sign into our account, right? But how do we get to people?
That's right. So we've got several options to reach out to FEMA if your situation changes. Like I mentioned earlier, if you think that you may need additional help from FEMA, you can go to disasterassistance.gov and update your profile there. You can call 1-800-621-3362 and speak to a representative, or also, as Corey mentioned, we also still have disaster caseworkers who can help you through the process, keep helping you work through, some of that paperwork, some of the sticky parts of applying for assistance at that community center in Altadena, 730 East Altadena Drive. So we'll still be there for quite some time to come. And really appreciate you letting us.
Let me tell you, we appreciate you. The doors are always open. Any updates, anything going on, just let us know. We want to get it to the family. We've all been talking about how this has affected everyone, right? And everyone's finding their own ways to do that. Our next guest, David Cathcart, owner of Yo Way Eatery in Gardena, a resident of Altadena, saw a lot of his friends lose. Good morning, David.
Good morning today. Good morning.
Tell me a little bit about growing up in Altadena.
Oh, man, one of the best places you could ever grow up, honestly, man. Like I said, I was born and raised in Altadena. It's a neighborhood, like a lot of other neighborhoods when we were coming up. We played baseball on the street, football on the street. We played with all our neighbors. We knew all our neighbors. And it was like that my entire upbringing. It was a beautiful neighborhood. It still is a beautiful neighborhood. We've all gotten older. But, it's kind of a neighborhood. It's like picturesque, really well. My childhood was so good just growing up in the streets of Altadena, like you say, playing sports. The cars would wait for you to get out the streets. You remember those times?
Everybody looked out for each other.
So, Altadena is where I'm from. And
then the fires came.
The fires came. Like I said, I lost hundreds, if not thousands, of personal friends. Their homes have been lost. My auntie, my cousin, their homes were destroyed. Too many friends. It's very personal to me. Like you can hear in my voice.
Yeah.
When I think about it, it's just really, really tough. And like I say, I hope we all come through it. I've talked to too many of my friends on a regular basis, and they're going through it.
Yeah.
Everybody's at a different process of rebuilding, finding funding and everything else. So,
You know, it was one of the things about you, David, that I remember when I heard Altadena, I thought, David, his family, everybody, what's going on? And you were saying how your home and your mother's home were spared.
yes.
And while most would be like, oh my God, our home, you were going through a deep sadness of what many would call survivor's remorse. Because you're looking at your friends and you're happy, thank God, you're safe, your family's safe, but you have friends that have lost.
Oh, it's crazy because you feel like that. I mean, how do you talk to somebody and console somebody when they lost everything?
Yeah.
You just tell them you love them, hug them. That's all you can do because, I mean, words can't convey what you really feel, and you can't imagine what they feel when, like you say, they wake up and they have nothing. And that's how I feel with a lot of my close friends. They're in that position right now. So,
Well, that's the reason why.
Keeping them in my prayers. And like you said, we are a resilient group. And we'll rebuild and we'll be okay. But, I mean, it's a tough time for the Altadena residents in general. It really is.
You've been doing a lot, though, with your company,
A little bit,
Your Way
but I can. I mean,
You help, but no, every bit helps.
Yes.
The first responders, you were doing a lot.
Yeah, we've donated sandwiches to first responders. We've helped out with the Pasadena Job Center with some sandwiches in the past. But anyway, we can collaborate. Any organizations listening to me that want to team up with me, we're willing to feed. Anybody still needs to be fed. Like I say, my thing is sandwiches, but any way I can help with anything in the rebuilding process in my community, let me know. I'm right there.
Let me tell you, he's in Gardena, folks. Give us the address there. Yo Way Eatery.
We're at 17901 South Vermont Avenue in Gardena. That's on the corner of 182nd and Vermont. Like I said, we've been there over a decade now, and that's really why I came here to say thank you to KJLH. You guys have been supporting me since day one.
Yeah.
And I just love you. You guys are a part of the community, and I just appreciate you. So,
Well, we appreciate you because...
you'll be hearing more from me celebrate my 10-year anniversary.
What?
Yeah.
I remember
All
when you first started talking about this.
Yeah.
He brought sandwiches he's going to bring more back for the whole station, but he brought Bobo us some for us to try out. Try it out. Now, these aren't on the menu necessarily, but these are like our special breakfast, Steve Harvey.
Yeah, so I brought you, that's right there is like avocado toast on cranberry walnut bread with a little drizzle of sweet chili and some chili flakes.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can't get that. Hey, you can't get that nowhere. That's only a Yo Way Eatery.
What does Bo have? What does Bo have over there?
I was trying to create a breakfast. Yeah. Kept it simple for him. Bacon on top of bacon. Ham and bacon sandwich, yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, it smells good. I can't chop into it right now because I need to be able to close the show out.
Yes.
But thank you, David, for what you're doing. God bless you, your family. We're so glad that you guys were spared because you're able to assist those, when you're in a space where you can help. That's what you do. And we just thank you and thank you for loving on our station because you're going to bring sandwiches back for everybody.
Nothing but love for KJLH. Everybody would, yeah.
Big love thank you. Big thank you to all the guests that came through today. This has been our Altadena 7 series for the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Next week, Tammy Mack will be up. She will have her series of guests coming in, all right? So make sure you stay tuned all August long. We have not forgotten about you, those who were affected by the Eden fire. KJLH is here always. It's a Lamar Radio Free, 102.3 KJLH.